Alright guys, today we're going to be going over finding the slope of a graph. We're going to learn two methods. The first is following the same formula. Now, for that formula, if we recall, we needed 2 points. Alright, now some graphs will have the points pointed out for you. Others, you might have to find the points. You want to make sure it's on a spot on the line where you can tell exactly what that point is. No decimals, none of that. So these 2 points that are pointed out for me are exact points. I know this is going to be -5, -3. So that's my first point, -5, -3. And I know that's the point I'm going to be using first because I read a graph from left to right. So I want to make sure I'm always going left to right. And I'm going to this next point. So this is going to be 0, -1. 0, -1. So if we recall, this was our formula. We remember this is our starting point. So this is x1, y1. This is where we're going to. So this is x2, y2. And now we just plug it in. We're going to do -1 minus, and now we need to be careful because this is also -3. So I have to have a second negative. Now just remember, your formula has one negative and our number has another negative. So that becomes 2 negatives. Now we go to the x's. x2, 0, minus, again, same thing, -5 has its own negative, so now we have 2 negatives. And now we simplify. Now, -1 minus -3. Well, we have 2 negatives right next to each other, so they become a positive. -1 plus 3 is 2. Same thing on the bottom, 0 minus -5. 2 negatives are directly next to each other. This becomes a positive. 0 plus 5 is 5. So our slope in this case would be 2/5. Now, there's another method I want to show you when it comes to a graph, and it's using just rise over run. So we know rise is up and down, and we know run is left or right. So in this case, we're going to be using the graph. We're going to be choosing 2 points like the graph before. Now we already have our 2 points. These are 2 obvious points that we know the exact location of. Now rise over run are just directions. We're going to be looking at how many do we go up or down, left and right, to get from your first point all the way down to your second point. Now I start with rise. I want to know how many do I have to go up or down. In this case, I'm going up. Remember, we read left to right, so I want to go from this point to the next point. So I'm going to go up 1, 2. Up 2 means it's +2. If I were going down, it would be -2. And we're going to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over 5. Now, because it's to the right, it's positive. And I get the same exact slope as before. Same graph, 2 methods. We'll do one more example. All right, here we have another graph. Now this one doesn't have the points labeled for, so we'd have to find points. Now I want to go with, remember, I want exact points that I know what the exact value of is. So I can use this point and see how this is in between. This is going to give me maybe a decimal, maybe it could be 1, but since I'm not sure, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to go up to this point. Now I'm going to show you using both methods. First, we can do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I can take my 2 points. This is going to be -2, 4. So we have -4, -4, -4. And we're going to -2, 0. -2, 0. Now remember, we read our graph from left to right, so I know I'm going from this point to the next point. This is my x1, y1, x2, y2, because this is where I'm going to. And now we're going to plug it into the formula. We have 0 minus -4 over -2 minus -4. 0, 2 negatives make a positive. 0 plus 4 is 4. 2 negatives make a positive. -2 plus 4 is 2. And we can simplify this. 4 over 2 is 2. Now this would be our slope. So that would be one way to do it. Now I could also, now remember, this is the same as any whole number can be placed over 1. So this would be the same as 2 over 1, up 2 to the right 1. So now I'm going to use my second method, my rise over run. Rise over run. I want to know how many am I going up and down, left or right. So I'm going to start at my first point. And I'm going to go up. I want to see how many do I have to go up to get to this next point. Well, since I'm counting by 2s, this would be 2. We're going up 4. And we're going to be going over 2. 4 over 2. Now 4 over 2 can be simplified to 2 over 1. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 2 1 time. And we get the same exact answer. All right, and that's it for today.